can change the world. So right now I want you to say to me, I love you. You are beautiful. And you can do anything.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back if you're a subscriber, and if you're new, hey boo, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, because I think that you will enjoy it here. If you're here, you know, to see some NPH content, some lifestyle content, you know, some haul content, that's kind of where I'm starting to focus. So go ahead and join me and support me. I would love that so much. Now, I know it's been a little minute since I've done a sit down video, and today's video is what a lot of people have been, you know, talking to me on Instagram, asking me for. Those of you who follow me from YouTube, they're like, where's the update? So this is not a life update, this is going to be a semester recap, but it's an update nonetheless. I am going to make the life update as well. So I'm sure you all saw the graduation video, and if you did not, go ahead, I believe it's on this side, go ahead and check that out. It was just me showing like my graduation pictures and some pictures from graduation. So I graduated, clearly, right? And I'm sure you want to know what it was leading up to it, okay? This semester, and I have it so I would not forget this time, okay? So I can know what classes I took. I took 4 classes, 3 technically, 3 classes and like an independent thing, but anywho, let's go through it, and I'll go through it from, I'll say easiest to hardest. We have disability and public health. That class was an online class, right? So we didn't have a lecture, and y'all, it's been a minute, I'm trying to remember. Okay, yes, so disability and public health, we had weekly discussion posts, and then we had something called like I believe it's called like a in the news presentation thing, where we had to find an article or a podcast or a video or something of that sort, but most of the people in the class used articles about something about disability and public health that's recent. So we had to make a minimum, I believe minimum 7-minute presentation about it, and then upload it to this software that we use. What was it called? Honey, I don't know, but I will put it on the screen. So we had to upload it here, and as part of our like weekly task, we had to comment on, you know, some of our classmates. So different people had different weeks. I went ahead and went early, got that out the way, because that was like the brunt of our work. We also had to do a disability, like an ADA compliant survey. So basically a booklet that shows where the standards should be in terms of like the most minute things. So like the height of the doorknob, the rise and run of the stairs, like is there an elevator, are there ramps, like actual like details and measurements. Now, I will admit, my teacher for that course was not, honey, she was relaxed and we were relaxed. I will put it that way. I will put it that way. And then we had a final paper that was about, honey, what was it about? Like, y'all, I'm so sorry. Let me try not to say honey 1,000 times in here. I probably should have done this video closer to the end of the semester, because then I would thoroughly remember. But we had to do a short little paper as like our final whatever. Like, we didn't have an exam. There were no exams, just that paper as a final. And yeah, that was an A. Got an A out of that class. I'll put what the paper was about on the screen, because as you can see, my memory is like out of there. The next easiest class, or most enjoyable class, issues in aging. So I actually really enjoyed this class. I took this class because there are a lot of older adults in my family. You know, my parents are getting older, my aunts and uncles are getting older, and I just wanted to learn more about, like, you know, aging, palliative care, dementia, that type of thing. My grandfather was a huge catalyst also why I wanted to take that class, because he did have dementia. He passed, but he taught me a lot, and this class taught me a lot as things were progressing. So we covered a lot of different topics in this class. We covered and things that you would not expect. Like, there was a different presenter every class, which I really liked about that. Some presenters were great, some were not so great, but for the most part, they were pretty good. Our teacher wanted us to have 2 articles prepared and to have read these articles so we can engage with the speaker. This is a channel about honesty, and you all are still gonna accept me with open arms, right? All right, glad we got that settled. I had the articles for maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, and after that, I did not. I'm gonna be honest, you know? So basically you could just come to that class, listen, ask questions, participate. You didn't need to be an expert in that topic or to have read those articles in order to participate in class. So some of the topics were like sexuality in older adults, dementia, that was one, death and dying. That was a class, when I saw that on the schedule, I was like pretty shocked and I didn't know how I would feel about it, but our presenter was very, very good that day. She really had the class engaged, and a lot of our presenters used Poll Everywhere, which is something that we use at UT. It's kind of like a, dang, what's the name of that other one that a lot of people use? I will look it up and put it on the screen, but it's like, you know, where you can ask a question and people can respond on their phone, and you'll see like what the percentage what the percentages are that they're answering. So that's what Poll Everywhere is, and we use that at UT. So basically all of our presenters use that. That presenter in particular talked about how much people that work in the death and dying sphere of aging, how much they appreciate life more and choose to intentionally live a fuller life. So that's the message that I really liked, because to be honest, I thought that that was going to be a really tough class. I'm a crier, so I thought I was gonna cry, but I did not. I didn't cry during any of these classes. And one thing that was so cute, you all, is that one of my classmates, oh sorry, that was a weird sentence, but during one of the classes, my classmate had her grandmother that was, I want to say 98, elder honey, OG elder. Listen to her. Her grandma came and talked to us about how her aging was going and things that she's experienced. And this lady was sharp. She was sharp. She was looking at all the pictures on WebEx. You guys are just so beautiful. Keep doing amazing. Like a lovely, beautiful Black matriarch would. So that class touched me. I did like that. I really enjoyed issues in aging. I think that class served its purpose. You know how some classes are so, let me make you do this work and make you write 30-page papers and da-da-da-da. It's like that class was very simple, yet very effective. After doing that class, I wouldn't mind taking a job that's in the aging realm or, you know, something like that. So I think that class definitely served its purpose. Work-wise, what did we do? We did weekly did we do weekly discussion boards? I want to say we did do weekly discussion boards. I think we did. And then for maybe the first 6 to 7 weeks, our teacher had us turning in evaluations on all of the speakers, but that did not continue the entire way. And to end that class, we also had to write a paper. It was something like 2 pages, 3 pages, or something like that. And to be honest, once you get to grad school, 2 pages, I will gladly write that for you and go about my way. So yeah, that class was an easy A, but a very great A, an enjoyable A, a learning A. To me, that's what classes should be. It shouldn't be so bogged down with work that you absolutely hate it and never want to look at that class again. I get it, some things need more work than others, but overall, and I know I'm getting on a tangent, overall, I feel like in education, they should focus more on having the classes be impactful and not full of rigor and work. If you can get a point across and help students learn something without giving them an abundance of rigor and work, I think that's to your advantage, because I do remember at one point in my schooling journey, I want to say like maybe high school or something like that, or 7th and 8th grade, and I know that's like younger, they wanted us to have this much work. They're like, you need to be doing at least 4 to 5 hours of homework every night. And it's like, who are you trying to torture like that? To me, if you can make things engaging enough in class, students can actually learn so much just from class without homework. But I digress, don't listen to me. On to the next. This was the one that wasn't a class. We have the option in my program to either do a thesis, which is what most grad schools do. So we could do a thesis, we could take a capstone course, or we can do an ILE. So the capstone, the thesis is the paper, you know, you present, you defend, blah, 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 blah. They recommend you do that if you want to like further on to get a PhD or a DRPH. I did not do that. I almost took the capstone course, which this semester our capstone course was about grant writing, which to me is a skill that would be useful working in public health. But at the very last minute, one of my darling professors that I love so much, shout out to you, Dr. Baker. Dr. Baker offered me an opportunity to work with her doing women's reproductive health work. And so because it's with the school, I'm like, you know, I didn't want to have to like finesse and find something to do an ILE for, so I was just going to do capstone so I could just take a class and get it over with. But since I was offered that opportunity, I went ahead and did the ILE. So my final products, because you have to turn in 2 final products at the end, and your advisor is the one that grades you. So treat your advisor right. Do what you're supposed to do. I take that back. It was only 1 product. My 1 product was a report, y'all. It ended up being like maybe 35 pages, something like that. And to be honest, I didn't start fully compiling it until like the day before. So I was pretty amazed at myself that I turned it in before noon and it wasn't due until the end of that day. Like, nothing feels better than having a submission that doesn't happen at midnight when you already started it late. So that was a pass. That's a pass or fail type of thing. And yeah, that one was pretty simple. Like, I was just working, doing what I did, you know, collecting data. I did some what are those called? I did some literature reviews. So I included the 2 literature reviews, and it was basically kind of like what you would read, like an article that you would read in a journal. So it had the abstract, the introduction, the method section of like what we were doing. I put in my literature reviews for some background information, and then what data was compiled. They were based on interviews, based on reproductive health interviews. So I transcribed the interviews and put some like standout quotes from each of the participants. Of course, the information was not revealed or anything like that, just some like basic demographic data. But yeah, I felt very accomplished doing that in that time span, but also just writing something of that caliber, because as y'all know, I'm not a person who was gung-ho about research and wanting to publish or anything. But after doing that, I'm like, you know what? I think I do like want to keep working on this to be able to publish this. Like, even if I don't want to do research long-term, which I don't think I do not mind working towards a publication at this point. So maybe by 2022, somewhere in 2022, I might be published. You might be reading me in a journal. You never know. Just putting it out there. And the final class, you all, program evaluation. Y'all, this class sent me through it. I did not enjoy this class. I got an A, but I did not enjoy this class. So yes, you heard it here. All A's, passes. Boom. Like, psh, psh, psh. All A's my final semester, 4.0. But who's counting? Anywho, program evaluation. So basically, this class is a pretty time-demanding class, effort-demanding class, but at least you work in groups, right? You in this class are evaluating an actual health program. And at the beginning, I think this class could be a lot more smooth if the teachers or the professors or UT or whoever would be over that would just partner with programs and assign groups to programs. We weren't allowed to choose our group. They just put us in a group and they were like, go find a program that's of interest, ask them if you can evaluate it. They gave us an email template to send to the programs. And y'all, my group probably sent over 10 emails. Some of them responded back saying, no, we don't have like the bandwidth to handle interns, even though we weren't trying to intern there. We just needed some very baseline information, and then we would go off and do what we did and whatever. They said no. A lot of people just did not respond. So we were a couple weeks behind the whole class because we still didn't have a program yet. And then they finally just gave us a program because they had maybe like 3 or 4 programs that they just had the information on that people could choose. But by the time we were emailing and stuff, those were already taken. But one of the groups decided to go with another program. So there was one free that they had from the beginning. Hopefully that makes sense. So we took that program, started doing it. It was called Sisters Together. And the program was basically, like a grocery store intervention to get more women of color in Michigan, not women of color, Black women in Michigan, to eat more folate-rich foods to decrease neurotubular defects in birth. That was a lot. But y'all, this is a very tedious class. Like, I don't even know, like, we have 4 main assignments, and I mean, we did fairly well on them. And then for every assignment that we submitted, we had to submit like we have to submit, what would I call it, like a survey on our group members. So that way, if somebody wasn't pulling their weight on this assignment, you can rate them accordingly, say what they did well, say what they didn't do well. And we actually got grades based on those like those rating surveys that we submitted every assignment. So I think on all of my surveys, I got 100s. It was one time I got, I think, a 99 or a 98 because somebody might have been hating. No, I'm just playing. Me and my group were different, but we worked very well together. You know, it always came together. Some of my friends in that class, their groups, from what they were telling me, it was like type A organized. So when I was looking at my group, I'm like, Lord, maybe we're not doing this right. But y'all, stay in your lane. Look in your mirror. Don't look in everybody else's mirror, because they'll do what works for them. You do what works for you. Because in their groups, they were picking a different person in the group to be the leader for this assignment, and like they're having the assignment done 3 days before it's due. Meanwhile, I'm not gonna lie, my group, we were turning it in at 11:40. Like, but it got turned in, and we always did well. So by the end of this class, we had a full program evaluation that was over 50 pages, like long. If we were working with a real like functioning program, you're supposed to give them the program evaluation at the end, so basically they can read it and see what they could do better to improve their program. But we didn't, so ours was literally just an assignment. You would think after turning that in, a lot of classes that are like that, when you turn that in, that would be the end of the class. But no. My professors were in the business of making sure that you completely 1000% understood what was going on. So they had to add even more by making us take a final exam on Cinco de Mayo with Proctor U. That had no multiple choice. Y'all, when I was really livid. I was trying to think of every reason to report them so we didn't have to take that exam. I didn't come up with anything, so I took that exam. And normally I'm that person who likes to wait until my classmates take it so they can, you know, tell me how hard or easy it was. But this day, I said, this Cinco de Mayo, you're crazy if you think that I'm about to be doggone in tears studying and, you know, full of anxiety all day. So you know what? I decided to wake up. Me and my friend Kiana, we had a study session the day before, like that evening before, and did some good studying. I'm so glad I did that with her because there were so many things where I remembered her voice from when we were studying. I'm like, So I woke up the next day and I was like, okay, I'm gonna study. I think I said I was gonna study from like 7 to 9 or something like that. And 9 a.m. I'm taking that exam. And that's exactly what I did. I took that exam and I was just like, well, it's over with. So by noon, after I had showered, gotten ready, like I'm free. I had a nail appointment at 2. So I was like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna take this exam before my nail appointment so I can just be free, be lit. And then I decided to text my friend Nia, and I'm like, Nia, what are you doing? It's Cinco de Mayo, let's go do something. So we had some tacos and we just, like, we had a good time. We went to Adore, if you know what that is in Houston. I was flabbergasted. Well, I felt pretty good about the test, but I was flabbergasted, y'all. Because when I got that grade back, I think I got like a 94, 92. I think I got a 92 on that test. But the fact that I got an A, me getting an A or B, it was right on the edge. So, but you know, once you take a hard exam and that's your last exam, you're like, you know, give it to God. I've done all I can do. And when I got that grade back and I saw that A, I was very excited because I felt like my hard work had, you know, my hard work had paid off. After all of that toiling and treacherous toiling. What's the definition of that word? Toiling. I think I can use that word. But after all that toiling and treachery and suffering and complaining that I did about even having that exam, and even with me getting the A, I will still say I think that exam was pretty unnecessary. To that rigor, like I think that amount of rigor was unnecessary. Like, have we not proven competency by turning in a whole program evaluation that we have compiled that is over 50, 60, 70 pages for some groups, and you still want to give us a final exam? And then it wasn't even just a final exam. It's like, oh, not only do you get an exam, honey, it's on ProctorU. If you don't know what ProctorU is, that's when they basically hack your computer. You basically give them permission to hack your computer so they can see through your camera, and there's a proctor, because, you know, since we're at home, there's a proctor on your laptop making sure that your eyes aren't looking any type of way, that, you know, they don't hear noise, so you can't cheat. Which, not cheating is not bad, but to me, ProctorU brings a different level of anxiety. Like, literally, y'all have to show your government ID before you take the exam so they can compare it to your face and make sure that's really you. Like, it's intense. It's intense. So we had to use ProctorU, and it was basically an all write out test. Like, we couldn't just have any cute multiple choice. They said no. If you've been lying this whole class, we're gonna know based on this exam. So I'm glad that I didn't give them any reason to doubt me and what I've done. I believe that's all I have to say. Those were my classes of this semester. And I'm just happy that I got out because, y'all, did I cry this semester? I think I did. I cried from program evaluation. Yeah. But we're here now. We're graduated. So that is my recap of my spring 2021 MPH semester. If you all have any questions about any of those classes, some of the things we might have talked about, or just any questions for me in general, you can always leave them down below. You can always email them to me. You can always follow me on Instagram, DM me. I do respond back. And if I see like MPH or something in your bio, I always follow back. Yeah. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you have a blessed day.
It's time to post up. Fix your credit, girl, get at it, get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back time. Go get that degree.